Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maximo and I'm here checking out Penny Punching Princess, the English version of The Princess is Money Hungry, a game that I very much liked when I played the Japanese version of it. There's your options menu, let's just hop straight into it, shall we? I've been playing this for... actually, how long have I been playing this for? 3 hours? I didn't even do that, just 3 hours on the dot, I'll take that. Funnily enough, I'm actually right back where I was in my Japanese video for this game. But, funnily enough, I'm actually in a lot worse position. I don't know how the hell I managed it, but somehow I managed to be better off in the bloody Japanese version of the game compared to this one, but oh well. We'll go have a quick look around first. This game's got no autosave, so you do have to go save it manually, and this is where you go to do it. You can also come back to your options, and these are all pretty obvious. It's even got English narration, which is actually kind of odd. But it's only the narrator. Everybody else talks in like Banjo-Kazooie style grunts. It's really strange. But you can also choose button controls that you can use to play on the PlayStation TV now. And the button controls aren't particularly great, so we're just going to stick with the touch controls. To be fair, this game is kind of cramped no matter what platform you plan on playing it on, so... oh well. Let's go have a quick look around first. The command center just lets you see all the dudes you've been picking up and all the traps you've been picking up. I've got an absolute ton of traps, but not that many actual monsters. You can also go there to check if you have a certain amount of specific thing to do what we're about to do now, which is create some armor. You can bribe citizens and traps in order to not only add them to your collection, but use them in the middle of the field. But once you've bribed them, they'll actually be added to your stuff that you have, and you can actually use them as resources to turn into things like armor and Zenigami statues. Armor is pretty obvious. They've got characteristics, they've got a special skill that every piece of armor has uniquely, and they've got attack and defense. We're going to create the White Tiger Shine kit there because I need more attack. I need a ton more attack. You can also create a Zenigami statue, and this will give you an extra skill point. What this does, we'll be able to see very shortly. So if we go to the training center, we can equip whatever armor we like. I'm going to have less defense, but I'm going to have not only better knockback, but higher attack on this one, so this might actually be more useful for me. We can also come into the Princess's skills and apply our skill points to different abilities. You can see some of the abilities here. I'll just go over them and leave it there for a second or two. And you've also got attack, defense, HP, poison, and freeze resistance. I'm actually going to up my poison resistance, because why the hell not? And you earn skill points via both making Zenigami statues and finding them in the levels. Each level has a certain amount of them that you can find, and it'll tell you at the end whether or not you found them all. And you can also come here to check your hidden skills, which is the stuff that you use on your armor. Pretty simple stuff, really. So let's just leave the castle and go straight into a level, shall we? I'm actually going to play a relatively easy level, just so I can demonstrate what the game's like before we actually go into the really hard stuff. So let's go and try out the Forest Guardian.
The servant, Sebastian, has been looking after the princess since she was a baby. Therefore, he can read the princess's emotions like an open book. But for the princess, it's just an irritating talent.
There's the only English voice acting in the game for you. I have no idea why they decided to only voice the narrator. But at the same time, it creates kind of this nice effect. I actually kind of like it. So, it's not that big of a deal to me personally. So, here we are in the game itself. The general idea of this game is that you need to make lots of money. There are chests sitting around the place that have money, and enemies will also drop money when you beat the stuffing out of them. So, we need to go and actually defeat the Fat Dragon, who's the final boss in the level. And in order to do that, we need to progress through the levels, and eventually we'll be sent into fights. And we'll be able to show what those fights are once we actually get there. Your controls are pretty simple. Move with the analog stick. L button brings up your calculator. We'll get to that. We have a special ability on the R button, which I don't want to go wasting. Circle is your heavy attack, which you can charge up. X is to roll around, but you can also use a special rolling attack once you've bought it. And square is your regular old combo attack. So let's see if we can actually go find a fight. Here we are. So yeah, this is Penny Punching Princess. It's a brawler, but it's got some special characteristics to it. So now that we've got some money, if I hold the L button, I can bring up the calculator, and the calculator will actually let me bribe an enemy. And now that I've bribed an enemy, you can see that a little thing with the triangle button has appeared down there. And if I press the triangle button, it will actually bring out the enemy in question that I just bribed and allow me to use that enemy as a sort of ally. And that's the entire point of the game, more or less. You've got to get through all the combats and all of the general levels and stuff, while bribing enemies to serve as your playthings. And I said it in the Japanese video, I'm going to say it again here. This is a really clever idea. Like, seriously. The entire idea of just bribing your enemies from out under your other enemy's feet and using them to your own advantage is an extremely clever idea. It's so simple that I'm surprised no one else has thought of it at this point. I mean, I'm sure someone's thought of it, like, what was it? Shin Megami Tensei, I'm pretty sure it does it. But on a real-time basis like this, I don't think there's been a game like it before. Which is a really cool... I rolled right into that, I'm an idiot. It's a really cool idea. And there are plenty of different kinds of enemies as well, and you can even bribe the traps out from under the feet of your enemies. Like, so I broke those dudes there, and by the way, there is an extra way to make money in this game, which is if you get them into a break mode, and you can see that by, like, the game literally having break on the front. If you get them into the break mode... Oh, I bribed the Iron Hammer, so smack. If you get them into break mode, you can tap on them really fast, and it will give you a bunch of extra cash. You do also have the just general defeat of them, earning you a bunch of money. And that will determine your... I walked right into that. That will determine your rank for every particular fight. So the more money you earn, the better you do in the rankings. And generally you want to earn as much money as possible because, you know, money is actually pretty useful. However, there are a few other things that are worth noting. You can only have one relic or enemy at a time. And this is interesting because it means that you kind of have to balance what you're going for. Since you have to take back a bunch of dudes and a bunch of relics in order to both give you more skill points and better armor, you need to be very careful about how you choose to spend your money. Because you have to just balance between both having the proper money, the dudes, and the relics. And this means that you want to be using as much of each as much as possible. Because it means that you'll need as much as you can get from all of them. Whether it be both money or just general, dudes to help you do things like make your armor. Just make it as much money as I possibly can. Let's use my charge there to do a little bit of extra damage. And I think I can safely bribe this guy. You can also overpay, and the number that you can overpay is different for every enemy. But if you overpay for something, like say, I know for example that these rose thorns here, you can overpay them by simply doubling their bribe value. So say I put 200 in here, you can see that I overpaid and I get an extra use out of it, which means that, well, it's pretty obvious. You get another attack with it. So yeah, you've got all of these different ways to worry about how you're going to spend your money. And it's nice, because it means you got to think on your feet. You got to be really clever about it. Little bit of comedic taste for you there. Boss appearance. So there's going to be a fat dragon here at some point. Let's bribe this. However, your strategies can be rudely interrupted by a couple of things I'm going to say. So, The annoying thing about the way the game's AI works is that it has this annoying tendency to stay away from traps that you've bought out. And I don't remember this being a huge issue back in the Japanese version, which is why I'm thinking they might have made this version a little harder. Maybe it was a patch that did it? I don't know. But they just have this annoying tendency to stray away from where you really want them to be. And that can get on your nerves. Like, sometimes you've got a trap like this, but see, I absolutely completely missed just basically everything there, which kind of sucks, because it means that if you buy out a trap, you might have to spend a couple of minutes just waiting for dudes to run into the general vicinity of whatever it is you're trying to kill. Whatever it is you're trying to use to kill them, I should say. And honestly, I kind of hate it. Sure, it does you a favor. Like, you say, I bribed this cannonball, and now it doesn't actually hurt me. So I end up in a position where I can... Well, basically, it means I can just stand there now. Like, if I need to stand there in order to stay out of the way of the attacks or something like that, right? I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about standing there because the thing isn't going to come down on my head. But still, it's kind of annoying. And the game has some pretty big difficulty spikes. Now, I didn't have a problem with this back in the Japanese version. I'm guessing it was just because I had some really good fucking luck. Like, seriously. I don't know how I managed to get so far in the Japanese version without being able to actually read the damn thing. But I did, and, well, it happened. Like, I literally don't know what else to tell you. I just managed to get really fucking lucky, and I just got good? Like, shock horror. Me actually being good at the game. Who'd have fucking thought? And I'm dead. Unfortunately, that means I have to restart right back here. So, let's just go and get my health back. I'm not going to fight this fight again. I'll just get my health back and we'll move on. So yeah, difficulty spikes. They are a thing. They are actually quite annoying. I found myself having to grind a lot more than I did in the Japanese version, at least from what I remember. Honestly, not that bad of a thing because, you know, the grinding will actually help you become a better player because I don't find the fact that the game's got overloaded controls to be a horrible thing per se. It's just, it takes a lot of getting used to. And that means that you'll have a lot of time where you're just running around trying to get the right thing in on the touchscreen here for the calculator and just in general trying to get something done. And that can be quite annoying. However, you do probably want to spend as much time as possible getting used to the idea just because of how relatively difficult it is to play this game. Let's try and get rid of these dragons first. And of course I hit the bloody one heart dude that just had to wander in there. Now I've got to wait for my bloody... I was going to call it calculator to charge back up. But yeah, be warned. The game's actually a lot harder than I remember it being. So you might end up in a sticky situation where it's just a fair bit harder to progress than you might have hoped for. Just because of how much in the way of difficulty spikes there is. Just bring it down on that goblin's head. You do also have a knockback attack. And there is also something else I would like to show off. So if I put in 1,000 coins here, then tap the coin miracle, it'll give me a few options. One of those options is apparently putting my damage up 5 levels, so that I can just wail on this dude as much as I feel like, which is actually kind of nice, because being able to do tons of damage might actually help me win the fight. But anyway, as I was saying, the coin miracles are... Oh, I'm actually going to win this, who would have thought? Coin miracles are random, depending on how much money you've put into the game itself. Into the calculator, I should say. Rank D, because I died. That's generally something that happens. But yeah, as I was saying, the more money you put into the coin miracles, the more likely you are to get a good effect. I was hoping to get a heal, but I actually got a pretty good damage up, so I took the damage up and basically just wiped the floor with the dude, which was nice. Kind of annoying, because you can't really strategize around the coin miracles being consistent, but oh well. We're just going to save real quick before we head into the next level. So let's see if we can actually create anything now. We don't want to make the fire striker because it's too... Oh yeah, we can make a stag beetle bronze statue and that'll get us 2 skill points. I don't actually have anything that's worth spending 2 skill points on, so we're just going to leave straight for the next level. It should be illegal for dragons to wear armor. That's just unfair. The game's got a little bit of a sense of humor to it. I actually like the way that they tell the story. It's really simple. It's basically just, you're the princess and you are permanently angry because the Dragalone Company, yes, dragon and loan put into one word, have been basically taking over the entire land via the usage of capitalism, and your father was one of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Bring one with me here. He was one of the victims, more or less. He got a bunch of loans from the Dragalone Company, and it basically just tore him apart. And now the princess has got this calculator from the god of capitalism, and it's just ridiculous. It is absolutely, utterly retarded, but it works. It's silly. It fits the premise quite well, and I don't have a problem with it. I heard of some bloody social justice warriors complaining about how it doesn't spend enough time talking about the ills of capitalism, despite the fact that the entire plot of the game is basically her father died due to capitalism, and it's just kind of implied, and the rest of it is just sitting there making fun of the game's ridiculous fucking premise. But, oh well, I suppose, right? Not the wolf I was actually aiming to bribe, but oh well. Grab some quick dough off them and just get my ass beat, because why not? There we go. That fucking cannon, it gets me every single time. It's driving me nuts. But yeah, the actual combat is smooth. I haven't noticed anything in the way of, I haven't noticed anything in the way of performance drops. Really? I somehow managed to bribe the sword when I was dead. That was impressive. That was my chair. Fuck it, we'll just go this way. Let's not waste time with the extra fight. But yeah, as I was saying, fuck me. The actual combat is pretty fun. As you can see, it can turn into an absolute clusterfuck just without warning. Mainly because of just, you know, the fact that there's so many things on screen at once, and you have to try and beat the crap out of everything. And I'm trying to push this dude back, but he just won't go away. Motherfucker. There we go. Right, let's bribe this floor. If I can, you know, get to somewhere I can actually tap it. There we go. Fuck. Come down here. Come on. There we go. As much money as I can off him and then kill him. That's the way. Unfortunately, I've only got 5 health because, of course. And I'm dead. Of course I'm fucking dead. Remember what I said about difficulty spikes? Yeah, this level is every chapter is a big difficulty spike. It's just massive. Right, let's go and get this so I can bribe the spike floor right away and try and avoid all the fucking cannonballs that are flying around. There's another chest down at the bottom left I can go get as well. There doesn't seem to be anything in the way of performance issues with the... There doesn't seem to be anything in the way of performance issues with the game, which is good, because, you know, performance issues are never a good thing. I'm just trying to draw as many of them I can down here so I can get the most effective use out of my traps. There we go. And charge in and do the rest. There we go. Actually won the fight, thank God. It's probably a, yeah, treasure chest. But yeah, the combat is absolutely fine technical-wise, and I wish dodging was better, because dodging seems to be really ineffective. Like, you can dodge with the X button, but it seems you can still get hit mid-roll sometimes, which is absolutely infuriating. And there's just a couple of other things like that which are really frustrating. And trying to handle the combat while also, you know, working on trying to beat the crap out of everything that's in front of you, while also trying to fiddle with the calculator and all that. It's all a bit overwhelming, and as I said before, it really is something that you need to get used to. How much does he cost? 700. Fucking expensive mofo right there. Although, right. Grab as much money as I can off him, and then dodge out of the way. Grab the spike trap, set it off. Grab money while I can, and he's dead. There we go. 12,000 gold acquired in that one fight. Anything down here? Ooh, Zanagami statue, nice. I don't think I'm doing actively worse at the game, I just don't seem to be in as good a position as I was back when I first played it. It's still entertaining though, it's still a really good idea. Right, I do need to go through this, because if I remember correctly, there's a healing pad through here. Indeed, there is. But yeah, as I was saying, the game itself is still a lot of fun to play. The story, I mean, it's a comedic, just there on the side sort of thing to justify the fact why you're going through and beating the crap out of people for their money. So I haven't been paying that much attention to it. There doesn't really seem to be that much to see, in all honesty, and I really don't mind that, because you're here for the gameplay. You're here for buying shit out of your enemy, from your enemy's feet, and just, you know, walking away with it and using it to beat the crap out of them. And that I like. That is still a really unique concept. It works as well as can be expected in this format, and I don't mind it in the slightest. Like, I have no problem with the motherfucking cannons, Jesus. I want to be careful of the red sword. The blue swords can't do too much damage to me. The red swords, however, absolutely can. Fuck off. And hit again, and fuck off. There we go. And here comes even more. Let's bribe one. There we go. I'm actually doing better than I was the last couple of times I tried this stage. What else does that talk about? I mean, well, generally the presentation is alright. It's fine. It looks good. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the style. It's just got... Well, you know, sometimes it's just a little bit too flary. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, but yeah, sometimes it's just a little bit too bright. That's a bad sign. Let's grab the cannonball. Wait for what's-his-face to find his way down here and just crush him. Get the hell out of the way, because he's probably gonna try and roll again. Yep, there he goes. There's a snowman, which I walked right into because I'm a fucking moron. Get out of the way, thank you. Let's do a 1400. Pull down some meteors, why not? That does some massive damage to dudes, which is nice. And I'll just go right through him to try and avoid running into him too much. Oh, there's lots of gold up here. Damn, alright. No, don't want to... Come on. Come on, calculator. Charge back up, will ya? Please? Thank you. Just drop that on his head twice, and we're done. Although I could really use some health right now. Thankfully, it looks like I might be able to get it. When my calculator charges back up. But yeah, the actual gameplay is great. I like the way it's balanced. I like the way that you have to pick between what you want to steal out in both the real-time sense and I need this to craft shit sense. I like just the general concept. The general concept is something that I absolutely adore. And, well, it's still a good game. It's still a good game back from when I played it in the, when I played the Japanese version of it. Oh yeah, this is where the boss fight happens, isn't it? Indeed it is. Let's just stay down here and let them come to me, because I can do this. I can just beat them senseless. Grab as much money as I can. And the actual boss has shown up. Awesome. Right. Now, I could actually buy him if I had the money, but unfortunately I think you'd have to basically just save up the entire fucking game, the entire fucking level without actually buying anything in order to actually pull off, you know, bribing that dude, which is something you could do if you felt like it, but, you know, not exactly something I would absolutely try in the heat of the moment. Alright, hang on. Buy him. Buy the Devil's Snowman. Just try and beat the crap out of this dude as much as humanly possible while he's frozen. Doesn't appear to take that much damage. There's a lot of bosses in this game. Some of them you can buy, some of them you can't. I'm gonna buy his one last minion out from under him and try and attack him with it and fail miserably. There we go. Oh, he was stunned. Ow. That's not good. 350. Give me something good. Yes, meteorite. He's dead. I actually pulled it off. I failed that mission like 3 times. All I needed was armor that gave me better attack. Well, there you go. Alright, so I get 2 skill points, a bunch of stuff. Thank you for the telling of the obvious, Sebastian the Butler. But yeah, oh yeah, that's 2 stages, half an hour, that works. So yeah, it's a good game. I like the way it does basically everything. It's a little bit, it can be hard and it can definitely be a bit hard to get used to. Those are 2 different things. But once you do, it's actually a pretty fulfilling game, pretty enjoyable, and I like it. I would recommend it. It's exactly the same way I felt about it in the Japanese version, only it's a fair bit harder. But yeah, I would happily recommend Penny Punching Princess, because it's a good time. It's a cool idea, executed relatively well. There you go. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.